Hello everyone, myself Purva and my topic for today is detailed explanation of zone broadening and migration rate. So why zone broadening and migration rate is so important in chromatography? It is because these are the two factors affecting the efficiency of separation in any chromatographic method. Thus we have to go in detail and understand how we can reduce and get better separation. So the first term here is band broadening or zone broadening. So zone broadening is a term used to describe widening of a sample peak as passes through the sample system. So broadening of peak arises as compound move through the column. Therefore we need to reduce this, only then sharp peak is possible. So here is an example where you can see peaks in which broadening goes from A to C. So the retention time for all the peaks is same but different extent of broadening. The narrower set of peak result in better or more efficient chromatography. So another factor responsible is migration rate of solute. The mixture component are passes through a column and they will travel through the column at a different rate depending on the affinity of the mobile phase and the stationary phase. If less affinity for stationary phase, then it will come out first. For example, if the mobile phase is hydrophilic and the stationary phase is hydrophobic, the mobile phase, that is the hydrophilic, will get eluted first and it will not form any bond with the stationary phase and will pass out easily. Effectiveness of chromatography separation depend in part of a relative rate of solute migration. This depends on how the solute distribute themselves among the stationary phase and the mobile phase. So this thing that we often talk about in chromatography is that we would have an equilibrium between the analyte in stationary phase and an analyte in mobile phase. So we can write an equilibrium reaction with double arrow analyte, stationary phase and analyte in mobile phase, and that has to do with how much time it goes to spend in stationary phase versus mobile phase. Because this is an equilibrium, we of course have an equilibrium constant and coefficient we call as a distribution constant, and it's a big K, the concentration of analyte in stationary phase divided by concentration of analyte in mobile phase.
Another term over here is retention time. So retention time is the time taken by the solute to come out of the column. Also, there is something called as dead time or void time, which is TM. Sometimes people will call that mobile phase time because that's how long it takes to unwritten species to get through the column. Retention time TR, which is the actual time that each analyte it retained to the column. So time in mobile phase plus time in column equals total retention time. Another term here is retention factor, that is the small k. So retention factor for different analyte we have written here. For analyte A and for analyte B, in the TR for that analyte minus dead time over the dead time, so it's proportion of how much time are you staying in the column versus how much time it takes to come through. Another way to compare relative rate of migration is that relative between analyte A and analyte B. It look at the relation in term of selectivity factor, that's alpha, and it's basically a division of retention factor for analyte B over the retention factor for analyte A. We use this thing, the selectivity factor of the side, the alpha, the retention factor K, in order to calculate the resolution of column. Next is band broadening and column efficiency. Column efficiency is generally discussed in terms of plate height, number of plate and Van Dimter equation. The peak in chromatography are generally shaped like a Gaussian distribution, and that has to do with the random variation of how long time how long analyte in mobile phase versus stationary phase. When we have the peak of this curve, it represents the average time that the analytes separate on the column. The longer the column is, more time or the column, the wider the peak is. There is also a relationship of how fast the mobile phase is going, and the relationship generally in the high the flow rate, the narrower the peak. But this is not a very detailed explanation up to this. Well, if we think about this, facing a time between two different peak versus how wide they are, we can get this idea of column efficiency, and that is a characteristic description how we separate things. It comes from something called plate theory, and this is a kind of different theory because it is not all how the chromatography actually happened, but it's really handy and describing how efficient is the plate theory. We pretend the chromatography is a whole series of simple distillation, and that you have a little tiny distillation distance, then h the height of the plate, and there is going to the equilibrium within the space, and after there is a equilibrium, then the analyte move. So if we have column that has a certain length L, then it will have a certain number, and the plate at each of those plate will have a certain height. There, this number can be really small for plate height point, that is 12.001 centimeter, and the number of the plate on the column can really be huge. If you want an efficient column, you want a large number of small plate. So how do we define plate height? Well, in the graph here, we see the Gaussian peak that has eluded at a certain distance through the column, and so we are now talking about the distance L, the length of the column, and we can look at what we have plus or minus one standard deviation for Gaussian distribution and define our plate height as the standard deviation square divided by the length. Experimental h and n can be approximated for the width of the base of the chromatographic peak. N is equal to 16 bracket tr divided by w the whole square. You can see in the graph tangent at the point of the two side of the peak, then extend to form a triangle from the baseline. Govern the shape of the peak. It turns out there are a lot of kinetic variables that describe how broad is zero. Another band will be it include how fast the mobile phase is flowing, which we abbreviate including diffusion coefficient, how quick your analyte is moving, both of mobile and stationary phase. It has to do with the retention factor that we defined a few slides ago. Also to do with how big the particles are if you have the packed column. If not, it's open tubular. Then we are talking about the diameter of the column, and it has to do with the thickness of the liquid coated of the stationary phase, because most of the stationary phase are not solid, they are liquid coated as thin film of the solid. Here we can see a Nike shape graph of GC where been plotted a plate height on y-axis and flow rate of mobile phase on x-axis. The mobile phase in GC move faster. That is the reason we get this shape of curve. And the curve that we just saw is Van Dinter's curve, and the equation given over here is Van Dinter's equation. We use this to optimize method and to select the best flow rate, and the term that are the part of these is A, B and C term that describes all of the factor for efficiency. The term A is called as multiple flow path term and sometimes also eddy diffusion. It is mainly due to difference in particle size of the column packing material. If the column packing material is uniform size, small and spherical, then this eddy diffusion is low. Next term is B by U, also called as longitudinal diffusion term. In column chromatography, longitudinal diffusion is a band broadening process in which solute diffuse from concentrate center of the zone to move dilute region ahead and behind the zone center, that is towards and opposite to the direction of the flow of the mobile phase. It is inversely proportional to the flow rate. Higher flow rate, less time of diffusion. Another factor is Cu or Cs plus Cu, that is mass transfer term. This term is inversely proportional to the rate of transfer of solute. The transfer rate of mobile phase to stationary phase affect Cm, and the transfer rate from stationary phase to mobile phase affect Cs. Higher mobile phase velocity reduce rate of transfer, and higher rate of transfer result in lower C value and low H. The conclusion for A and C of the smaller size packing material is required, and for B to be smaller, viscous mobile phase is required. In GC, B term is important, and in LC, C term is important. Mobile velocity should be higher for lower B by U value, and in GC, higher velocities are used, and mobile phase velocity should be lower for lower Cu value, and in LC, lower velocities are preferably used. Column resolution. Column resolution is the ability to separate to analyte using the equation Rs is equal to 2 delta Z upon Wa plus Wb is equal to 2 bracket Trb minus Tra bracket close divided by Wa plus Wb. So the next is the effect of retention and selectivity factor on resolution. So here I have directly given the equation, but to make you understand I have added a note so you can understand how we got this equation. Okay, for the solute, that is the two solute A and B, Rs is alpha minus 1 by alpha, this is the selectivity factor, K dash B by 1 plus K dash B, this is the retention factor for solute B, into under root n by 4, this is the plate number. Often it is desirable to calculate the number of theoretical plate required to achieve a desirable resolution. Equation 1 gives under root n is equal to 4 Rs bracket alpha by alpha minus 1 bracket close bracket K dash B plus 1 by K dash B bracket, or we can also write this equation as n is equal to 16 Rs square bracket 1 upon alpha by 1 the whole square bracket K dash B plus 1 by Kb the whole square. So the next is general elution problem. Figure below illustrate hypothetical chromatogram for a 6 component mixture made up of 3 pair of components having wider different distribution constant and thus retention factor. The chromatogram A condition have been adjusted so that the retention factor of component 1 and 2 are in the optimum of 2 to 5. The corresponding factor of the other two components are however far larger than the optimum. Thus the peak of 5 and 6 appear only after a long time, and also these peaks are so broad that they are difficult to identify as shown in the chromatogram. B. Changing condition of optimum. The separation of 5 and 6 bunches the peak of first 4 component of the point 5 where the resolution unsatisfies. Here, however, The total elution time is ideal. A third set of condition in which K1 value of 3 and 4 is optimal. Result in chromatogram. C. Again, separation of other two pair is not entirely satisfied. The phenomena illustrated in the figure occur commonly to be given a name, the general elution problem. Thank you.